Is Invisible Woman viable for rank matches? Is she worth buying and or mastering? What's up guys, GH here. In this video, we're gonna determine if Sue Storm is viable. We're gonna show her abilities and show it to you guys how it works. Then the pros and cons, the things that she's good and not. And then in the end, we're gonna answer the question if she's viable or not. All that in this video, let's do this. Okay guys, there's Sue Storm, Invisible Woman. Yeah, let's look at the model and skin. That is pretty awesome. The other skin though is just a white suit with black patterns on it. Anyway, okay now, let's check out her abilities. Let's start with her natural passive, and it's called Without a Trace. This is her signature ability. Basically, this passive makes her invisible. This is a pretty good scouting or harassing ability because enemies have no idea where you are. And how it works is when you're out of combat, you turn invisible. And the limitation is the distance between you and the enemy hero. This is how it goes. When you're out of combat, you're invisible. But if you get close to an enemy hero and see a yellow exclamation mark, that's an indication that you're getting too close, but you're still invisible. And if you push a bit more and the yellow exclamation mark turns to red, that means they can see you now. And at that instant, you will turn from invisible to stealth mode. And when in stealth mode, your next basic attack is enhanced, dealing a bit of energy damage and slows target by 50%. This is an awesome ability. Learn to use your invisibility to your advantage. Use it to harass and scout enemy territory. Now for the next ability, and it's called Psionic Guard. It's a ranged attack that gives you and your teammates shielding, assuming they are close to you. For poking enemy heroes, it's decent, and it's useful for triggering Heart of the Defender Power Stone, which boosts the basic attack of you and your teammate, assuming they receive the shield buff. This is much more useful on clashes because usually teammates are close to you. The second active ability in her arsenal is called Psionic Light. To put it simply, this is a ranged attack that slows targets. Then, after a few more hits, it will then stun and deal extra damage based on your energy attack. This is what I believe is one of her most useful ability because it's a pretty good slowing attack that is awesome to use on fleeing enemies. Because after a few hits from you or your teammates, they will get stunned and most likely get taken out. Assassins will want this debuff on enemies. Now, her third and final ability is called Invisible Force Shield. And it's called that because this ability makes teammates near you invisible and gain a movement speed buff, which they can then use to flee or attack. Depends on them. And we're not done here because after using the party invisibility, you can use the final skill again, and when you use it, you can blink in the location you want, then deal damage in the area and then imprison enemies for 2 seconds. And at that point, you will gain a shield that is based off your energy damage. This is a pretty awesome Clash Initiator ability because enemies wouldn't see this coming at all. Just be careful in using this because if you don't have any form of survivability item, you might get taken out too fast. So it's not a bad choice to invest a bit on survivability items. For me, and this is just me, I use Goblin Mask when I see that I'm getting focused after engaging in a fight. So yeah, use whatever you want. Now that we got the abilities out of the way, now let's do the pros and cons. Let's start with the cons, the disadvantages. The first one is she has a very low damage. Her mode of attack is focused on controlling enemies, so you wouldn't deal as much damage. Another bad thing is when people want a support hero, they expect healing, and you don't have it here. Lastly, the other thing that people expect from this is the first ability shield lasts longer, but in reality, it's just a second, and in fairness, it's kinda bad. But in clashes, when the damage is raining, the shielding is somewhat helpful. And those are the cons. Now for the pros. First is, her scouting ability is second to none. Make sure to have movement speed so you can scout more easily. Second is, her harassing capability is almost like a cheat because they won't see you coming. You can keep hitting and hitting them and they wouldn't know how to react because they can't see you. The last advantage I could think of is her control abilities is very lethal. Not in terms of damage, but in a way of stopping enemies from doing anything. With an experienced assassin or any other killer, this is gonna be pretty hard to mess with. And that's Invisible Woman, an awesome scout and control hero. Now let us answer the question, is she viable for ranked matches or not? And the answer is yes. But if I'm going to do a support role, I'd probably go Cloak and Dagger or Mantis. But she's a very nice alternative, especially if you have a complete communication with your teammates verbally. You can easily coordinate assassinations. And that's it, guys. What do you think? Is Invisible Woman viable or not? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, share, and then subscribe to be part of the Gaming Hardcore family. And as always, this is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.
An allied turret has been destroyed.